good, the bad, and the odd. They don't half talk some bollocks.
Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Odd with your hosts, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
Right, well, this was a free choice, my free choice, and given we both really enjoy Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, I thought I'd give Marvel another little shot, and I picked Captain America: Brave New World for us to discuss. Just before I get into that, just want to let everyone know I've got the website sorted out. We've had problems with the website, various problems, and I've had to give. I don't know if any listeners are even aware of this. The thing is, we've lost our old RSS feed in effect, but I'll be promoting the new RSS feed. But if you're listening to this, you should be able to see show notes with the latest on. You should, but But if you're listening to it, you probably don't need it. That's the thing. However, it's all sorted out. So now, if you go to www.thegoodthebadandtheodd.com, you go to effectively the new website, which is the Libsyn website, so it's all working again. I'm glad to say. So I'll be promoting that sort of through all the different means as best I can. There's a lot of gatekeepers out there, so it's just getting through those and working out. Okay, you want me to do this? Some of them are contrary as well. In my experience, it's like, can you do this? And then you get another one. You can't do that. Otherwise, we got things like that. So I just got to see how it goes. And then it's a case of deciding which one's more important to me. To us. But we'll see. We've never done this for money, does it? We don't do ads. We don't.
Nah.
We rarely ever talk about other podcasts. But yeah. Anyway, we're never going to be doing ads ever. Anyway, right, okay. So Captain America: Brave New World. In the week when I discussed it with you, I without subconsciously really didn't do this as a joke. Subconsciously called it Captain America: World Police, which I know gave you a chuckle, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional. Brave New World, right? Okay, so this one. I mean, Captain America in this is Sam Wilson.
Yes.
As
it's
it
Anthony
ended,
Mackie as Sam Wilson in his first film role as Captain America.
Yeah. Just so if anyone thinks, where did he come from? In the TV series, which we both watched, right? The Falcon and the Winter Soldier from 2021. That's when he became Captain America.
Yeah.
So there is a backstory.
He was given the shield at the end of Endgame.
Yes.
And he turned it over to the government, but he took it back over the course of that series.
Yeah. And it's not a bad series. Let's go for high level views. What do you think of the movie?
I quite enjoyed it. I was surprised. Mild spoilers on this. It's mostly not a Captain America sequel.
No, it's its own thing, right?
Yeah. It's mostly tying together a variety of loose plots from the MCU that have kind of just been left hanging.
Yeah, this surprised me, right? There was a few things about this film. Firstly, I enjoyed it. It wasn't a great one. It wasn't up there for Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, but I enjoyed it.
It sits above the Phase 2 films, which are all pretty middling.
Apart from maybe Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
There's maybe one or two others. There's two things about this film three things. First, I really was like, I was going into this thinking, this might be just another bit of Marvel hard work. You have to work hard to get any enjoyment from it. But no, it wasn't. It was fine. The second thing was how, just as you said, how much it was like a sequel to things that have just been left. And I quite like that. It was basically a sequel to the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Right? It was a sequel to that. It was a sequel to Falcon and Winter Soldier. Sequel to the Eternals.
Yeah. No one. People have been making jokes for years about how the Eternals, the fucking giant monster comes out of the Indian Ocean and there's no reaction. And then,
Now that whole thing. We'll get into it when we actually talk about the film. Actually, it reminded me of another entirely different franchise. That the plot developed, and I might be misremembering. We can talk about it as we go. And the other thing is how much non-world building was going on. What I was expecting was some sort of major world building, which Marvel did do a lot, and it always slams the old narrative drive brakes on
Mm.
in a bad way. I'm
Yeah.
talking about things like Iron Man 2, for example, right? Or
Yeah.
was it 3? Which one had Mickey Rourke in? Was it 3?
Two. Yeah.
2.
Two.
Yeah, that, or with some of the Spider-Man, well, all right, Sony, yeah, but
Yeah.
when they try and put a load of world building in the middle of the film, it really wrecks the flow
Mm.
and the enjoyment of the film. And I was expecting a lot of that in this. If it was, there was a bit, but it totally worked with the film
Yeah.
and not to the film's detriment in any way. And I quite enjoyed
It
it for
wasn't
that.
the usual it's like, hey, look at all the things that are in Marvel that we know and we're not acknowledging, sort of
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it ended up
yeah,
being.
yeah.
But
So it was its own thing.
yeah.
It had problems for me as well, but we'll get into that as we go.
Mm.
Right, okay, there were some things that I really liked about it too.
Mm.
Right, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's clear the spoilers.
Yeah,
So
right. So spoilers from this
yeah.
point. Okay, so one of the main characters in is Thaddeus Ross, William
Mm.
Hurt's character in The
Yes.
Incredible Hulk from 2008. I'm going to stop qualifying The Incredible Hulk. It's the second one they made
Mm.
with Ed Norton. There was
Yeah.
much more part of the Marvel Universe than the Ang Lee one, right?
Yeah. It is kind of a soft sequel to the Ang Lee one,
It
but
kind of is, but
yeah.
I'm really referring to the 2008 one, the Ed
Yeah.
Norton, because Abomination is mentioned a lot in this film, for
Yes,
example.
this, to put it bluntly, this is just a sequel to the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
Like,
which is amazing in
yeah.
its own right, right? That they've
It's
called.
not just like, oh, it's a
so
bridging
fun.
thing. This is a sequel.
Yeah.
So,
So basically, Thaddeus Ross is standing for presidency, and
Yeah.
in this movie, it's Harrison Ford. William
yeah.
Hurt unfortunately died,
Yeah.
so they had to recast if they wanted to reuse this character.
Mm.
Now, I hear a lot about Harrison Ford dialing it in a lot of his later films.
Mm.
I didn't think he was dialing this in at all.
Yeah.
It
I
was
think you mean
pretty
phoning
solid.
it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I do mean phoning it in.
Those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
two different things.
Oh, is it?
But
Okay.
yeah.
All right, phoning it in.
Yeah.
No, he was committed. He was.
Yeah.
He gave it his all. And I appreciated it.
Yeah.
And they even made a little joke about, yeah, I look different because I lost the moustache. It would have lost me 10 points in the polls,
Yeah.
which made me chuckle a bit.
Yeah.
So yes. So the action starts with Captain America, who is he's got wings. Falcon's
Yes.
not giving up his wings to be Captain America. He's got his own wings
Yeah.
given to him by the Wakandans. So they're vibranium
Yes.
wings. Now I'm gonna guess, is this also a sequel to the second Wakanda film? Because I've never
I
seen.
don't think so. I'm not 100% sure. I've
Because
not
they were
seen it either.
suggesting they gave it to him for services rendered or helping them in some way. That was kind of
Yeah, but he also helped the Dora Milaje in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I'm just-
okay.
that's
Yes.
why I think
Yes.
it might be a thing of like maybe he does turn up in that film and help out a bit,
Yeah,
but you don't need to have seen that film. It makes sense either way.
yeah.
So
Okay. And he's also well, it goes in on basically there's hostages, but they know a covert group called the
Snake,
Serpent.
yeah,
Serpent mercenary group. I've got are doing a deal at a church or something in Mexico, and they've taken hostages. I don't really know why, if they're waiting for a deal to happen. Presumably,
Yeah.
they had to take over the whole place just to do the deal, and they've just taken hostages to keep them quiet, right? Rather than,
Of all the spooky names that they chose, I think this is possibly the funniest because if you look up the Serpent Society, which is what they took it from, these are the silliest villains you'll have probably ever seen. They look like He-Man villains.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's just a bunch of different villains in various snake themes.
Yes. Having said that, I really liked. I mean, he was a sort of side character in there. He wasn't part of the main plot, really, apart from Giancarlo Esposito in this.
Giancarlo Esposito.
He's always great, isn't he? He's always great. He plays a character called Sidewinder. Really great presence in the film. So that really, really helps. And I like the fact he's not phased at all by whatever comes at him ever. All right, he's really funny in that sense. Cap America though is like taking out these guys left, right, and centre with his shield. Now I was confused, and I actually looked up during the film. I was thinking, is he a super soldier as well? But they kind of mention in the film.
Yeah, he makes a joke at the end where he's like, "Yeah, I really should have taken that super soldier serum."
Yeah, he's more your Batman. He's basically physically he's got himself into this sort of shape and this abilities. Just by sheer will, right? And training.
And the tech helps a lot, but he is very well trained. There is a bit of shonky CG at this start bit that did make me laugh very hard when he lands as superhero, where he basically seems to just be going straight down, and then at the last moment his legs just flip round to the bottom. That made me laugh, and then he does this cool little like, wait a moment, and then the air draft catches up with him and knocks them all over.
It's funny. There's also a bit of Iron Man-y tech, like you sort of suggested. He has like these drone assists called Red Wing, right? That come out of his suit and do stuff, which is kind of cool. In addition, he's been supported by a military,
there's a team of like SWAT, that sort of thing.
But he's monitored by a guy who keeps talking about, I could be there. Basically, there's a character called Joaquin Torres who wants to wear the Falcon suit. And, there's kind of joshing about him being a new Falcon and stuff like that. This character didn't work so well for me.
I quite liked him. I liked him as
cheerful,
enthusiastic, second.
I'm not sure. I was thinking about this. I think maybe if it was cut, I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't know the actor at all, and it felt a bit skin jobby. But it grew on me. So by the end, when he was, spoiler. We've done
quite a visceral accident.
Whereas in a hospital bed, I started to come around to. Now I was thinking, you know what? The guy who plays Miguel in Cobra Kai would have been great in that kind of role, actually. But this guy was fine in the end. It just took a bit.
He's spoken for as the Blue Beetle at the moment.
He is. And have you seen the Blue Beetle? It's not bad.
No, not yet.
Not bad. No. It's actually one of the better ones. They're all very minor, aren't they? Phase 2, mostly. In that it's like it's all right. They just don't stick in your head the way.
Yeah, the DC ones.
The great. Yeah. Oh yeah, Blue Beetle's DC, isn't it? I forgot. Yeah. But yeah. Well, that don't matter. So, but the DC ones are a bit like that anyway, right? They manage. They're after something that's in like a little metal container. These guys on motorbikes start riding away, and
it's kind of fairly stock-ish, where it's like, oh, we got to secure the package.
But also, he wants to rescue the hostages, so it's kind of a choice between rescue the hostages or get the package. And Cap America's like, I'm getting the hostages. But they kind of figure it out between. He manages to do it all, but he also faces off against this massive bloke who's, when you punch him, he laughs at you. Right? He's that tough.
Yeah, I think this guy may have been a stand-in for the Russian from Punisher.
Weirdly, he was a bit like that.
Like he was big. He had kind of like stripy shirt. Like
he made me think of Sabretooth or something like that, right?
Yeah, kind of. Well, I guess that's kind of topical to the film because once we get through all of this, the package, as it turns out, is a brand new element from the Eternal. I can't remember.
Eternal Island, they call it.
Yeah, the Eternal Island.
Big creature thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's adamantium.
Adamantium coming. And I was thinking, isn't that from X-Men?
Yes.
Yeah, of course it's from X-Men.
It is.
I even looked out. What's the difference? I thought vibranium was the toughest thing. No, vibranium isn't the toughest thing. Adamantium is. The thing is, vibranium's really tough, but it's kinetic. It can absorb and reflect energy. Adamantium is just rock hard, right?
Yeah.
And the whole plot is about look, we got this resource, but we got to share it with the world. And
Yeah.
Harry,
Like, no one place
Ross
should hoard this.
wants to make a world deal where everyone gets a free distribution of it, but it's in Japanese waters, and there's been some.
It's in Indian waters.
Sorry,
but
my
they
mistake.
they keep, for some reason, Japan is the big vested interest in this.
Yeah, I was
It's the main
wondering about this. Well,
competition.
is this because they did?
I think they didn't want to offend China. I think that originally maybe China was the sort of holdout here.
Yeah, that makes it more obvious. I mean, they're much closer to the Indian Ocean than Japan, aren't they?
Yeah,
I was just sort of thinking, were they trying to pick a nation as not the bad guy, but the antagonists that wouldn't really piss off someone in
yeah,
world politics? And like, I mean,
yeah,
the China
maybe.
thing would do that, North
Yeah.
Korea would do that, Russia, but Japan, they
What's
don't
weird
care.
is they kind of have the Japanese guy play like a fairly stereotypical like sneering foreign villain. Where it's like, we know all your secrets, American, sort of thing.
Yeah, I didn't really feel that. I felt like
And it's like,
he was
no,
just
he's
pissed off
right.
at Ross.
That's the thing. He's right entirely.
Yeah,
Like this is Ross's problem. The whole film is Ross's secrets and problems spilling out and causing massive political upheaval.
yeah, yeah. So they manage Wilson and basically Cap American and the Falcon manage to
Yeah,
get recover the package.
Yeah,
Sidewinder does get away.
yeah. He does like a funny thing where it's like, yeah, you can stop me, but there's more hostages, and you don't have time to stop us to do both, and just leaves. Like he doesn't wait for like the any agonizing over it. He's just gone.
Well, he's more pissed off about the person that arranged the meet not turning up because they're all like wondering why would they pick such a weird place for a meet, such a public place, undefendable place for a meet unless it was just a setup.
Yeah.
And both Sidewinders thinking that, and Captain America's thinking that.
Yeah.
And we do have a bit of discussion here because Torres wants to be the Falcon, but Captain America is like, you got to remember, we haven't got superpowers, right? We're just men, right? We're not Steve Rogers, for example. But then they go and see. Now, this meant nothing to me, and I don't know if it's appeared in another film, and I've just totally forgot it. They go and see an old fella called Isaiah Bradley, who
he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I didn't remember that. I just did.
So there's like Bucky introduces Sam to this old guy who was a super soldier experiment, and one of the few successful ones, but he'd been abused by the United States government and experimented on.
Right.
And the whole
which is why he hates the thought about going behind bars, right? Because
he hates going behind bars, and he's very uncomfortable at the idea of going and meeting the president.
Yeah, because of
what he has the super soldier serum.
Now there's a hint, right? There's a hint right at the end, and it's like, oh, what? Where they try and arrest Captain America. Now, Isaiah is already behind bars, and Captain America goes, oh, you want to put another Captain America behind bars now? So I was thinking, was Isaiah Bradley a Captain America before Steve Rogers?
So I know there is a theory that, yes, he was at some point Captain America. Because if you remember what's his name? The dad in Black Widow. He constantly talks about how he fought Captain America, except he was born like 20 years after Captain America went in the ice. So there's no way that could have happened.
Oh, okay.
Unless there is another Captain America,
which is Isaiah, maybe.
Right? Yes, potentially. Nothing's confirmed.
No one's said it, but there was that hint in the script. Talking in the script, I thought it was pretty good. It was coherent. I wasn't particularly confused. There was wasn't confused about what was going on, even though it was quite complex. There was these little hints in it about other stuff, which you could describe as confusing. They were more like, what's that about? What's that about? Which is, that was that was kind of interesting. And like, for example, you want to put another Captain America behind bars.
Yeah.
That's an example.
But I think his line there might have been more of a reference to Steve Rogers when they were trying to arrest him after Civil War.
Oh yeah, that's
most
probably
likely.
it, right? Yes,
but it could be an implication to Isaiah Bradley, who, as it turns out, his superhero name in the comics at least is Patriot.
Right.
So, and he is
Cool.
another super soldier in red, white, and blue sort of thing.
Yes.
So
awesome. Yeah. Now Ross, there's this big narrative thing, Ross, and you see it all the time. Everything he does is trying to do this, which is he keeps insisting he's changed, right? He's changed. He's not the same man he was. He wants to build bridges, especially being the president.
They do specify that it is almost it's entirely his own fault from hunting the Hulk, because they call him the Hulk Hunter, and like they have a whole thing about how his military career basically went down in flames because he had a massive outburst in a press meeting.
Yeah. So
now he's political. So.
Yeah, but he's managed to maneuver himself and get elected as president. In fact, the film starts really with his acceptance speech, victory speech, right? And he makes the point he's changed. He's changed. And he invites Wilson, Sam, and the Falcon, and he thanks them for what they did to the White House. But Sam's
they swing a +1.
Yeah, they want Isaiah to come along, and then when he goes and asks Isaiah's like, "There's no way I'm going there." Yeah, and they kind of talk him around, and there's a few jokes about, I bet you haven't even got a suit. He goes, I got a suit. He keeps going on about this suit, but it isn't a suit. It's a sports jacket and trousers.
Yeah.
But he keeps insisting it's his suit. And they all go in a limo to the White House. And Ross welcomes them. And, they're starting to be swung around. But then Ross says to Sam, to Captain America. Sam is Captain America.
Yeah.
He says to Sam, I want you to restart the Avengers. Now, I thought that was going to be a significant element in this film, and it turned out it wasn't, right? It was just a state. It's just
that's the closest we get to like the future.
Which is great.
It's only really addressed here and in the post credits of Thunderbolts.
Yeah. But Sam's like, I thought you tore up the Avengers with Sokovia
Accords.
Yeah. And he says, yeah, things change. We need someone like this. And then at this summit, Ross starts talking about what they found. Did I call it Eternal Island? Celestial Island.
Because it's the Celestials are the giant like god things that catch planets.
Yeah, so
the Eternals
it says we've discovered this new metal and the adamantium. So they and he says these items were. Now, this is where the Japanese come into it, because he says apparently they were the first to actually mine out some of the metal and it was then stolen, which is the Japanese connection, right? That's where the Japanese connection.
That's why they're here. So.
And he says we can't all be scrambling for this. Let's avoid any kind of arms race around this and all work together and distribute it fairly. As he's talking, he's behind this sort of glass screen because it's projected.
Yeah, it's like a projector. Yeah, it's like a hologram projector, but not really, because there's a screen.
It's glass.
But then Mr. Blue starts playing.
Yeah, I Mr. Blue, the old 60s. I also have to mention there's a woman. I call her a girl. A woman who's very short. She's very small. Who is like the president's security. And I can't recall seeing her before. Was she in something?
She's new. Yeah, she is new to this one. But we
do establish she's from the Black Widow program, right?
Yes, she's one of those. She was trained in the Red Room.
And Sam Wilson's like, you don't mess with those.
Yeah, he's immediately like, nope, don't go near her, don't talk to her.
Don't mess with those. Don't mess with those. So basically, Mr. Blue, and then I was a little confused because it's like everyone started to seem to shoot in at once, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What's going on here?" But then it became obvious what had happened
Yeah.
as the film went on. It was quite confusing to watch this. Like, what's going on? Because people just started pulling guns out and shooting, including Isaiah, who started shooting at the president. Um,
Yeah.
but he missed,
Yeah.
luckily.
Ross gets away.
Yeah, and Ross
And a
manages
bunch
to
of
get.
people like take him down in front
Yeah,
of like I think it's the Vietnam Memorial,
yeah.
where they're able to catch him. But as they catch him, it's clear he's like just woken up.
Yeah, he's like saying, I just
Like, how'd I
remember
get
him
here?
speaking, and then I was
Yeah,
he doesn't know what's gone on.
yeah,
So Sam, basically Sam says you gotta, you just gotta give out. He goes, I can't go back into prison again. I just cannot. And
yeah.
Sam goes, I will do what I have to get you out,
Mm.
and all this. So they all start looking into it, including the widow. Her
Mm.
name's Ruth Bat Seraph. We just call her the
Yes.
widow for this. This
Yeah.
just be
She
easier.
is a comic book character herself called Sabra, who's basically like Captain Israel. Uh,
Right. She's a
but yeah,
total
obviously,
badass in this, I'll tell you.
yeah,
Well, she's a widow, right? So, yeah.
yeah. I feel like they probably should have just put an existing character in this role. Like they should
Like
have
who?
put like I don't know, like just throw one of the other like various super like either female super soldiers
Oh,
or
okay.
special agents. Like throw Maria Hill here. This would have been great for Maria Hill.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I think personally I had no problem with this. I
Yeah.
felt this was fine. So so they're looking all into it, but Sidewinder suddenly
Yeah, he shows up and starts trying to
Sam
attack Sam.
Sam's manages hasn't got any of his armor, and he goes, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
difficult without need your armor, do you?" And like Sam takes
Yeah.
him, no,
Yeah, it's a pretty like inventive fight where they're in a junkyard,
yeah,
and
this is
Sam doesn't have a gun,
no,
but they and Sidewinder does. So Sam starts using like car batteries and like
and bits of
melting them.
metal, bits of
Yeah,
metal. Yeah, he does like try and blow up a battery. Yeah, there's all sorts going on. He pours
Hmm.
acid on a battery or something, doesn't he? And
Yeah, and it just causes a
creates
smoke
gas.
screen and he
Yeah,
starts choking him out. Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, they catch him.
They
So
catch him, but even then, he's totally not cowed, is he? Sidewinder, he does not.
yeah,
Care
he's like, I'm pissed off at the buyer. They've offered me like a lot more money to get
twice to
you.
come and get you.
So
So yes, so they start putting things together. Like for example, they spot that just before all this happened, there's some CCTV. Isaiah mentions his phone seems to be on the fritz before they go
yeah,
in,
and it
and
flashes in his
and you could
eyes.
see just before all this kicked off, there's a flash coming from the screen into his face, coupled with the song, right? And they start to put together. There's something in. Someone's got some tech using light that can do some sort of brain control or
Yeah,
trigger previous brain. I don't know, right? But
yeah.
Torres tracks the call from Sidewinder to a hidden black site in West Virginia called Camp Echo One.
Mm.
Ross, meanwhile, goes off to Japan to sort of say, "Oh, the
Yeah,
Indians are like, well,
yeah.
we can't
Every
just
other
go."
country bails on the piece on the
Yeah, and he
summit
goes,
for
"I'll
now.
bring Japan back in." He's convinced, and he goes
Yeah,
to Japan, and like the Japanese,
and very much does not convince them. Let's be
yeah,
frank.
he's saying,
Like,
"You're the one who stole this from us," and he goes, "What are you talking about?" And they hand him like a dossier. He goes, "Look for yourself."
yeah.
Um,
And he gets annoyed at them. He like gives as good as it's like you shouldn't be so
yeah,
naive to assume that that's all
yeah. I
real.
came here thinking you were a serious man, but you're just naive and things like that.
Yeah, and that really pisses him off. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, so they go to this camp Echo One.
yeah.
So Joaquin and Sam they break in and they find the leader Samuel Stearns,
Samuel
who
Stearns.
hasn't been in a Marvel film for 16 years,
What
something
was he
like
in
that.
before?
He was in the Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk. So
Yeah.
yes, but it
The
wasn't
last
this
shot of him.
It wasn't this actor though, was it?
It
Or
was this actor.
Oh, it was
Tim
this
Blake
actor.
Nelson was in the Incredible Hulk.
Now I just got.
He's
Yeah, go
apparently
on.
been looking forward to coming back at some point because
Wow.
his last scene ends with like Hulk blood dripping into a wound on his head, and his head starts to grow, and that's what the leader looks like.
Wow, this is impressive. How much they've tied it all back. That is really something. Now, I haven't seen this actor in much, but what I have seen him in, I've really liked him. He played a character who was kind of equivalent to Rorschach. Not the same madness, right? But the same laconic, quiet, getting on with business kind of way that Rorschach does. And he played a character in the Watchmen TV series. He was great. And that series is top tier. Really great series. And he played a character called Looking Glass. So instead of the Rorschach mask, he wore basically almost like a mirror over his head.
Okay.
Right? Which is kind of, when you think about it, that's a bit like a Rorschach, right? A mirror is looking back at yourself. But he was really good at that. And I've seen him in a few other things. And I can't remember the specific name, but I saw him. I think it might have been a Guillermo del Toro series on Netflix, like an anthology series, and he was in one of those, and he was really good.
He does some stuff, a fair bit of stuff with Del Toro. He was in Del Toro's stop motion Pinocchio film.
Oh, was he? I did
where
not
he
know
voices like the guides of the dead. They're like I can't remember the proper term for them, but they're like these black rabbits that dance and sing and carry people in coffins.
Yeah,
it's really quite entertaining. But yeah, he was also going to be in Dune as an undisclosed character.
He'd have been great in Dune.
Yeah, people, from what I've read and my own like assumptions as well, I think he was going to be Fenrig.
That would have been great.
Yeah,
Fenrig would be great.
Because it was going to be he was going to be
also
in
see
part
him
2
being
and also Margot Fenrig.
Peter DeFries as well. I think he'd be a really good.
No, he was in the film, but his scenes got deleted, and it's
Oh,
not been
okay.
revealed who he played.
So Peter DeVries is in the film, so it can't have been that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Fenrig sounds right. Right. Okay. Where were we? Yeah, I just wanted to say I really
The
like
leader
this
showed
guy.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's really good and sinister. And Stearns is a good, well developed. Now it turns out he has mutated, and he's become super intelligent in a probability. He could deal with probabilities and cause and effect chains and think things through in a way that other people can't. Basically, he can see how the universe is working through probability, kinda. So he knows how to orchestrate things because he knows, well, if I do this, the percentage chance, so he can make things happen, right? And while Ross has kept him in prison, basically we find out Ross has basically imprisoned him.
Dangling the opportunity of freedom.
His own little think tank, right, to get him the presidency. And his promise to Stearns was, once I'm president, you'll be free, right?
Except he's not free because he's still in the prison now.
Yes.
So that has done pissed off the leader, who demonstrates very quickly that he can very much outthink any sort of situation.
Yes.
In a room full of just surgical equipment, he pushes a button and a beam from the ceiling takes out Sam Wilson.
Yes, I really like this character. He's quite an effective character. Not
gruesome
like
prosthetics.
Oh yeah, man. He's got like a big green head.
His brain's like pushed, I guess, through his skull. And it's the top of his head, while still skin, is just like brain patterned.
Yes.
It's weird.
It's really, really weird. And he plays it in a really, and his eyes glow green if he's in the dark, things like that, right?
Yeah.
So Ross has basically been a right twat. All the way down. So has he changed?
Yeah.
So basically, and one of the reasons he kept Stearns in this place was he publicly blames him for abomination. I can't remember the film enough to know what it was all about, but I believe Tim Roth basically made himself the abomination deliberately.
So,
right? If I remember rightly,
Ross gave Eli Roth's character the like a prototype Captain America serum. it may have been the same thing that Isaiah Bradley had, but it's not quite clear. It's just said as something that we worked out in the 50s in that film.
Sorry, you said Eli Roth. You mean Tim Roth, right?
Tim Roth, yes.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Was it Eli Roth in it? I don't remember.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so him basically failing at catching the Hulk in that film led to him being kicked off the Super Soldier program, and he kind of went a bit weird after that. And then he made Tim Roth's character made Tim Blake Nelson give him a transfusion of Hulk blood. And that turned him from Tim Roth into Abomination.
Yeah.
So everyone is responsible in this.
Yeah, there was one bit of the plot that I did get a little confused about. Though I understand what was going on, but it was kind of so quick. I was like, "Hold on, what?" When Ross says, "Oh, I was dying," and that's led to Stearns coming up with some sort of pills to keep him going.
Yes. So, Leader in the comics, I mostly know it from the Hulk cartoon show.
Right.
But he's more a generic smart guy. Like he comes up with like gamma mutants and robots and whatnot. So this is more of an extension of that versus his probability prediction skills.
Right. So he's a genius as well as probability things, but he kind of knows how things will turn out. That's his thing, right?
Yeah, but he's come up with this heart pill that will basically cure whatever the condition is.
Yes.
As long as Ross keeps taking it 3 times a day, I think he says. 3
times a day, yes. But they also find these pills that basically Sam and Joaquin find these pills with a note basically saying Ross has to take these 3 times a day. It was like that clear. You just read it yourself, right?
And then he has a fairly creepy monologue about being kept in his prison.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of the prison guards walk in, and Leader steps out humming Mr. Blue.
Yes. So basically he's mind controlling also. And the president even phones up the governor. I think it's the governor of prison and says, "Have you got eyes on him?"
Yeah.
When this Signwinder business is going on, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Also, they do meet a friend of Sam who has Sidewinder in custody, and he says, "Could you find out what's in these pills?" It's just,
So they basically just like hand it off and basically like figure out what's going on with that while we sort out the main plot. And they do. So Leader is now out. He's escaped.
Sorry, why do you call him Leader?
That's his comic book name.
Right. It wasn't called that.
He's the leader. Though, they just call him Dr. Stearns.
Dr. Stearns, right. Okay.
So,
I did understand.
Leader is his comic book character.
Right.
So I'll call him Stearns from now on. So Stearns has escaped. Like he's just out in the world.
Yes.
The next time we see him is actually kind of funny because he's just knocked on some guy's door and he's in regular clothing with a big trilby hat on. It's very silly.
Yes.
But so we get to a bit where the Black Widow finds the 2 of them after fighting a bunch of the prison guards, and starts to lead them out. And that's where they figure out, a lot more of the military is affected by this mind control than previously thought.
Yeah, and but Widow is like, I've got, these are under my guard. I'm taking them, and the guy goes, "I've had direct orders from the president to bring these guys." Because Ross basically says, "I want Wilson and Torres brought in.
Yeah,
don't care what it takes, bring them in." So
Ross
Widow's not having any of that.
No, she's not. And there's another big fight occurs between these 3 and a bunch of military guys. This middle bit gets a bit samey in terms of the actual fighting, because it's just the same fight over and over, it were. It's always like Sam, Captain Falcon, and the Widow fighting a bunch of military guys,
and the shield whizzing around. in unfeasible physics.
Yeah, I think this was the most dubious of the shield throws because there's a bit where Sam throws it down a straight corridor and somehow halfway down it bounces. So
Yeah. I like the use of his wings in the fighting. Actually, I thought that was quite
yeah,
cool.
I
I thought
like that
that
he
worked.
used them a lot more than the shield when he
Yeah,
had them.
and it made more sense because you had
Mm,
way better control over him, right? I
yeah,
imagine. Um, so we also find out, I think, that Ross basically won't release Stearns anyway because needs these pills and he's
yeah.
frightened
He
Stearns
needs the
will shoot.
pills and also the secrets of him imprisoning
Yeah.
someone
He wants to keep
for
them all
this.
secret.
So he is. So
Yeah,
it's a lot on the line for him, and the widow brings Cap and the Falcon to the I think it's an aircraft carrier, the battleship
yeah.
that Ross is
Essentially,
on.
several fleets are moving towards Celestial Island. The Japanese fleet,
Mm,
the American fleet. Ross is trying to say, look, talk it all down, and sort of say,
yeah,
let's. But
we can
jets
figure
are
this
in the
out, sort
air.
of thing.
But then Stearns does his mind control on two of the pilots who just stop
Yeah,
responding and carry on as if they're attacking the Japanese fleet. Ross is
mm,
saying to the look, we've lost control of these two. This is not our action,
yeah, but
but
they are not having it.
no,
So
they don't trust Ross at all. But Cap America and Falcon intervene.
yeah,
It says, "Well, we
they're
got no
like,
one
don't.
ready to go in the end." And Cap
You got
America's
two
like, "You
people
got
ready to
two.
get
You got
to.
two ready here."
Yeah,
Um,
but
so there's some
the
quite
idea is
cool
that
stuff with this,
yeah,
right? I like this. It was quite good to
yeah.
watch.
So there's a lot of like you see the cool tech in action. So we see previously Redbird, the little robot, was just kind of like a mobile laser that Sam would have, and
Yeah,
now he can attach the shield to it, and it flies behind him, blocking bullets, which is
yeah,
pretty cool.
it's pretty
So
cool. And he does things like get to the pilot and break the pilot out and press the eject button to. And
mm,
basically, the Japanese witness Captain America stopping the planes
yeah,
before it could get
it's a
to
pretty
them.
cool bit where he kind of flies a plane like a chariot, like he stood on the
Yeah,
back
that
of the
was.
grappling hook. Hold on.
I have to admit, I was thinking of Ace Rimmer riding a crocodile.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Smoke me
But
a
yeah,
pepper.
during this, Joaquin, the new Falcon, is quite badly injured. They say they've had to restart his heart when that late
Yes.
scene in a hospital.
Yeah. But he helps.
Yeah,
Part of
he
that
helped
is
stop it.
stopping the attack, right? So he's a hero, right? He's a hero.
Yeah,
So this is enough to convince the Japanese that
yeah,
this isn't a
he's on the train.
confrontation, right?
But yeah, but during this, the Stearns has been able to get a direct line to Ross and
Talks
starts
to
just mocking him and goading him. It's like, yeah, you're not going to see your daughter again, who Ross has been trying to
but he's never going to want to
get back
meet
in
you
touch
again.
with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's really conscious of how his
yeah.
daughter might see all of
It's
this.
something we've
Yeah.
skimmed over, but he's back in the celebration at the start. He's like, did Betty respond to his like aid? And she's like, unfortunately not. And he's constantly like asking, it's like, is she going to show up? Pretty much.
Yeah.
And Lita is taking the advantage of this
Yeah, and
emotional
wind him up.
weakness.
And we
Wind him
see
up.
as he's
Yeah.
getting angrier, his eyes start to glow red.
Mm.
But then there's a woman who's Cap America's friend within the White House who basically
Yeah.
tells the captain what's happening in case it all goes to keep an eye on Ross.
Yeah, she's
And
like a direct line, basically.
she's a direct assistant, right? She's a
Yeah.
presidential assistant. She comes in at that point and sort of like, "Are you okay, sir, Mr. President?" All this, and
Yeah, and
he calms down enough. He calms
Yeah.
down a bit.
So they've quote unquote won. They like the pieces, the treaty's been arranged. They all go back to America, to the White House, and even Stearns turns himself in.
Yeah.
And
Now,
then
hold on. The bloke with the pills works out
Yeah.
that they're loaded with gamma radiation, and he's
Yeah.
about to tell
he's about to call up Cap and tell him, and
Stearns.
Stearns shows up and kills him with a sonic weapon.
Yes.
He's like, oh yeah, this is disorienting you, but if I switch it a bit further, your heart bursts. I am sorry. but I'm the hero.
I'll
in
take
this.
no pleasure in this. Yeah, he is the hero in his own story. As far as this.
Yeah.
Now, as Wilson's, in the hospital and worried about Torres, Bucky Barnes shows up.
Yeah, that was a lightning cameo. It's just really
it's
quickly.
good
It's
to see
like
him.
it's
Sebastian
just
Stan's awesome, man. He really is. It's good to see him because it kind of starts to tie together Thunderbolts without a clunky tie-in. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. And this was before Thunderbolts. So
Yes, I keep
this
forgetting
released
that.
first. So
Yeah.
this was to lead into it. But yeah, so after a very kind of sweet bit where they're just like they're talking to each
Can
other.
I just
making
say,
sure each other's okay.
I can't remember, does Wilson actually mention Ross wanted to start the Avengers again to Bucky?
Yes, he
He
does.
does, doesn't he? Yes.
And it's like, and there's a bit of like, are you willing to step into that role again with Steve? Like we did this before, and you weren't okay with it for a while. But now
Yes.
are you sure you're ready for this bit?
Yeah,
But yeah,
there's some
and
of that. Right.
as he's sitting outside, Stearns just walks up to him, and it's just like, yeah, he basically is not bothered at this point. Like Stearns
He said,
says
I
it's
had
fully
to
okay.
go. Yeah, basically, later on, he sort of says, I worked out all these things. You've intervened, which means I've had to change the plans. But this is the only way I can continue is to surrender myself and be in a certain place. He just tells them, He just tells them.
Yeah. But as he's getting arrested, Ross is leading like a press conference
on the lawn
about
of
it,
the White House.
and he's kind of getting pushed with the questions. It's like, oh yeah, what was the why were you trying to fight Captain America? Like, why have you arrested this guy? And the questions are getting more and more stressful. And then through the speakers plays a conversation that we had heard earlier between Stearns and Ross about letting him go and Stearns being responsible for his presidency.
Yeah.
And that pushes him over the edge, and the gamma in the pills triggers. And he becomes the Red Hulk.
Which should be a surprise to no one because he's all over the ads.
Yeah, he was all over the trailers. They really could have.
Like no surprise whatsoever because there it is. When even before you start the film, but so we get basically a giant Red Hulk with Harrison Ford's face. Good transformation, worked for me, and I like the action. The physics of it felt really good in that it felt real rather than weightless things.
Yeah, there was one bit where he did a clap and basically an entire building collapsed.
Yes,
it looked kind of hollow, but other than that, him jumping around. Just barreling through the White House was great.
Yeah, great. And things like when cars were landing, it felt like real physics rather than CG, if that makes sense. So
it's kind of funny because Ross is a lot more of a fighter than Bruce Banner, so he ends up quite viscerally brutalizing everyone that gets in front of him.
Because they're trying to machine... there's a bit that made me sit up and go... I think I shouted, what the fuck, when it happened, right? Which is the Red Hulk grabs, I think it's a flagpole or something like that, and just throws it into a helicopter. So it goes through the front of it. It spears a massive helicopter with this thing. It's bigger than a flagpole. I don't know what it was. It was a big pointy thing.
Yeah, it was. I think it was supposed to be the flagpole on top of the White House.
Right, a big one.
Which he also used to just sweep away a bunch of guys that would shoot at him.
Yeah. That was awesome. But, I mean, Wilson tries to fight him, but he knows... Yeah.
But it's a lot of luring him away as opposed to fighting him.
And I didn't quite catch this, but I got it more from the inference from what Sam said rather than seeing it. He surrounds himself with the wings and Ross punches him. And then he looks at the wing and says, what the fuck? Did he dent the wing? Is that
No, I think the idea is because all the other times he's been hit with missiles and bullets and the wings have taken a bit to come up to power where he can use them.
Yeah.
Whereas Hulk punches him once and they're at full power and shaking with how much they're overcharged.
Yeah, they're overcharged.
Oh no! And he
is that it was overcharged because vibranium stores the energy and reflects it. Right? But then when the Hulk grabbed him and his backpack. You thought, oh, there's no way he's getting out of this.
Yeah.
The whole rips off
He
one
rips off one of
wing.
them, and then Sam is able to. Well, he grabs Sam by his helmet and starts crushing it.
Crushing him, and you think,
So
oh,
Sam
this
has
is
to kick a knife that's already in him in
just
Red
to
Hulk,
get,
which
yeah,
makes him drop him, and then he uses his other wing to like stab him
to
quite
impale
viscerally.
him as the Hulk jumps at him, right?
Yeah,
Kind of
and that causes a massive explosion, which doesn't really affect the Hulk. He gets buried for a little bit,
yeah,
but it gives enough time for pretty much everyone to show up at the
yes,
end. And Sam, in a very Captain America kind of way, talks him down. Like
talks him
he's
down,
yeah,
talks about this is the place where you talk to your
yeah,
daughter and stuff. They were in
yeah.
like this cherry
You wanted
blossom.
to see the cherry blossoms with Betty,
Yes,
and
so
that calms him down.
yeah, so okay, so it all calms down a bit. Wilson then goes to Torres and says, talks to him about the Avengers,
Yeah,
and also the treaty that Ross worked on for
yeah.
everyone to share the adamantium did go through. So that's all
Yes, and
through.
it keeps his name on it. It's called like the Ross Ozaki Treaty or
Accord or
something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
so Ross has resigned as president and submitted himself for imprisonment because he
yeah, and
knows what he's
he's now
done.
on the raft, the super prison
Yeah.
that's previously been
So Wilson
established.
goes and sees him, and Betty turns up. Liv
Yeah,
Tyler
that
turns
I
up.
was very surprised about. She looks exactly the same.
Yeah, she's a vampire. She's a
Yeah,
she. We do hear her voice at one earlier, don't we? She actually
yeah,
phones Ross and sort of says, "I should have phoned after the attack in the White House. Are you okay?" And all this kind of
yeah.
stuff. It's quite sweet.
I thought that was a sound alike. Like I thought they just got
No,
something
it
that
sounded
sounds sort of like
exact.
her.
Well, if it was, it would have
And I
been.
was like,
It
okay,
wasn't.
that's because they can't get her, like they can't justify hiring her just for a voice role.
Yeah.
And then she shows up at the end, so it's like, oh yeah, that was definitely her. So
Yeah, so yes, so yeah, so there's some chatter about the Avengers forming between Wilson and Torres. There's a little of that,
oh
mate.
no, they get Isaiah Bradley out of prison as well.
Oh yeah, that's really great, isn't it?
Mm.
And Isaiah's like, because the door's open, Isaiah's like, "What kept you?"
Yeah,
And they laugh, and
yeah.
he's
He
got his
gets his
suit
suit
dry
back.
cleaned and all that. Because at one point they've got him on the floor earlier in the film, and he's saying, "Mind the suit." Right? That's what
Yeah,
we also find out the widow kind of has a crush on Bucky because she's sort of saying,
yeah,
and Sam goes, "He's 110 years old," and she's like, "I can work with that."
yeah.
So, did you watch the post credit? It was right at the
Uh,
end.
yeah. Where we get like an ominous threat from Stearns,
Stearns.
where
But
it's like,
basically,
yeah, other
it looks like
worlds.
he's in the same prison
Yeah,
structures as
he'd
Ross.
be
Right?
in the raft as well.
Yeah,
So
so he goes and talks to him, and Stearns is like, I can see all of infinity. I
yeah,
know what's coming, and things like that. So they're basically, is there something from another world coming? That's kind of the implication, right?
yeah.
Now I'm wondering if, in the end, this Avengers. I don't know anything about the Avengers movie. Is it coming out soon? What's...
It's the end of the year, so
Okay,
I think
so
it's
I don't know
December
if it's
time.
like a mishmash of these guys and Thunderbolts, or
So
I don't know.
it's everyone. It's literally
Everyone, Fantastic
everyone.
Four.
Yes, it's the Fantastic Four. It's the Fox X-Men. It's
Whoa! What?
yeah, yeah,
They're a thing. Okay.
yes. they're quite a thing. Let me just see if I can find the cast list again.
So it's Wolverine in it again?
I
'Cause
don't
thought
think
it
so.
hung up
But
as-
oh, where is it?
Is Deadpool
Oh,
in it?
Channing Tatum's in it as Gambit.
Gambit's in it.
So
Hey.
Ian McKellen, James Marsden
Oh my
as
God.
Cyclops, Patrick Stewart. Let's
Wow,
go
they're not messing
here.
about, are they?
No. Kelsey Grammer as Beast.
Beast.
There we go. Alan
Is-
Cumming as Nightcrawler.
Oh, great. I like
Yeah.
that. Is Deadpool in it? That would be mad, wouldn't it?
There are conflicting reports about whether Ryan Reynolds will reprise his role in this.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Probably turn up at the end, right?
Yeah, most likely. Just rock up in the post credits like, right, I'm here. But we do know that Steve Rogers is back as well. So
yes.
yeah.
Is he? What?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's already been a trailer for it. There's been a few like teasers.
Yeah, this is not a Deadpool and Wolverine.
No.
Thing,
Is Steve Rogers will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah. We never talked about Deadpool, did we? But
we did a whole episode on it.
Well, no. What I meant is when we talk about Marvel and like how it kind of went to shit for a while, the Deadpools never did. They never went to shit. They were great. Yeah. So yeah. And you know, the Deadpool and Wolverine was fantastic. I thought really, really fun film. So that's the movie. I think talking it through has made me think more fondly of it than I did while I was watching it, weirdly.
Yeah.
Because
like it has its
reflection,
weaknesses.
Yeah. On reflection, there was quite a lot of good in it, actually, and it was fun. It just didn't grab me the same way as Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four did.
Yeah.
I did.
It had, I think, the same issue that Episode 1 of Star Wars did, where it's like, okay, here's the cool things. Now let's talk about the politics a bit. And it's like, get back to the lightsabers. Let's get back to the big shield. Yeah. And it's like, it's not as bad as Episode 1 in any way. No. But it does have that thing of like, we got quite a fairly interesting spy story here. And now on to something completely different. I
actually say another thing about the movie is I thought Anthony Mackie was all right as Falcon in the TV show, right? And it was okay, but I actually really liked him in this movie. I thought, I really felt comfortable with him as Captain America almost immediately, right?
Yeah.
Because it made sense that his suit was a synthesis of Falcon and Cap America. And he was using the tech from Wakanda. It kind of just made sense. So he's kind of a blend of Cap America, Iron Man, and Falcon.
With all the technology he has, But in overall, he comes out as his own person. Because while, like, Steve Rogers could pull out, like, the heroic speeches and moving stuff, Sam Wilson is a therapist by training.
Yes.
And he's demonstrates it. He's able to talk Sidewinder into basically working with them for a little bit to get some with the excuse of like, I can get you moved to a prison. I know you'll break out of that prison, but I can get you moved there instead of like somewhere higher security. He talks down Ross at the end. So
that all worked for me. So in many respects, it was quite good from that point of view. However, thinking back on all this period, I think I'm still gonna always remember much more fondly Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four.
Well, we are in the phase 5 now, I believe. Let me just
where did that start? Is it that Quantumania thing?
So
after that. I never watched that film.
We're in phase 6 now. Sorry. So phase 5 was Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania up to Thunderbolts.
Okay, I like Thunderbolts. Yeah. Quantumania. I saw a tiny bit of it. It looked
bad. I saw it. It was fun. Guardians Volume 3, pretty good. Marvels, didn't see it, but apparently it was okay. Deadpool and Wolverine, great. Captain America Brave New World, still pretty good. Thunderbolts, great.
Yeah. Not a bad run.
And then our phase 6 is Fantastic Four, the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day, and Avengers Doomsday.
Yes. I mean, that sounds all right. I mean,
there are a bunch of TV
definitely made me want to see it. So, you know.
Yeah. And hey, if you want to watch a Hulk film, he's in that. So, if this has got you hankering for Hulk.
Sorry, what do you mean? The
Hulk is in Brand New Day.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. That's not in the trailers.
Yeah, it is.
Did I miss it?
I think you've been missing the trailers.
Well, I saw one, and I know there was a spoiler in that, but it wasn't the Hulk. It was another character. which I'm not going to say.
Punish,
You'd said it.
it's a
You said
trailer.
it.
Like it's a
Said it.
like the Scorpions in
Yeah,
it too.
the Punisher. I was kind of
Yeah.
shocked to see the Punisher in this. I get Spider-Man. Sorry, I get Punisher and Daredevil. That makes sense. But Spider-Man's way more cheerful than Punisher stuff.
You got to remember, I think Punisher started as a Spider-Man villain.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Did you actually get to watch One Last Kill? That special?
I did not, unfortunately.
It's worth a look. It is worth it. And I'll say it to everyone listening. Worth a look. It is brutal. It's adult material, but it's really good because it basically sees how the Punisher's arcs, how he's re-arcing, if you know what I mean. How he's moved on. Let's put it that way. What he's going to do next. So yes, that is worth a look. Yeah. So this film's all right. Let's get to rating. How would you rate this film?
I'd rate this either a 7 or an 8. Probably leaning more towards 7, but
I did actually score it a 6. But you know what? That felt a bit mean, so I'm going to say a 7. 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yes, it's a better than a 6, isn't it? It's better than a 6. So yeah, but not a bad film. Glad I picked it. I was a bit apprehensive because is it
I'm gonna be frank. I'd heard bad things about it, but from what I could see, that's it seems to have just been like scuttlebutt, really.
Yeah,
just about word of mouth. But yeah, that was it. Really, it's a fun film. I do recommend watching it.
All right then. Okay, let's wind out there. So bye from me.
Bye.